Hello Internet, and welcome to another episode of Tyler's Tech Reviews, your number one stop for tech news and reviews. I'm your host Tyler, and today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the Turtle Beach X4 wireless gaming headset for the Xbox 360. I'll give you a run-through of the features and the quality of the headphones, and then I'll do a quick comparison between the X4s and the newly upgraded X41s. So let's just hurry up and get into it. Got a lot of stuff to go through. Build-wise, very comfortable, lightweight headset for the size. Has a nice thick band around the top and very, very comfy ear cuffs. One of the better I've seen on a gaming headset. Has a removable mic boom, which is nice. So if you do break your microphone in any way, instead of buying a whole new headset and a whole new package, you can buy just the mic boom for about $7. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. Other features, this does require 2 AAA batteries, so there is a power switch on the headset. It has a bass boost feature, which I'll go over a little bit later. A game volume control, because you have to understand that you're getting both game and chat noise through the headset. And that is about it for the build. Over to the wireless box, you have a power button. This also requires a AC adapter that plug into your wall. It is kind of a pain because the adapter is one of those big bulky ones, so you have to make sure that you have enough room somewhere close by in a plug-in. You have your line-in volume, your line-ins for component cables, and then you have fiber optic out and in cables, which is nice. So if you don't want to take over your surround sound system by using the headset, you can plug both your headset in, run a fiber optic cable to your headset, then one out back into your surround sound system. So instead of changing back and forth every time, you have that. And the fiber optic cable is not included, but you can buy one that looks like this. It's just a small, short cable. You can get it for like $2 on Amazon.com. Really not a big deal. Quality-wise, a headset has its pros and cons, as in everything does. Sound quality-wise, it's fairly good, but since it is wireless, it uses an IR signal or infrared signal. You do get some interference, especially if there's no game noise. I found in my playing, if I'm on a matchmaking screen, say in Halo 3, if there's not a lot of noise going on, I'm going to get a lot of white noise, a lot of feedback. It's kind of a pain, and I hate it so much actually that I just shut off my headset when I'm not in a game, which isn't a big deal or anything like that. A quick comparison between the X4s and the X41s now. I don't have the X41s with me. I didn't want to go and buy, another $200 headset when it's not that much difference, and you'll understand why I didn't want to really buy it that much here in a second. But I have tested it. A friend of mine has them, and I gave him a head-to-head comparison. Found the differences and which one I liked a little bit better. So I'll go through that really quick. The X4, as I said before, uses an IR beam, and the X41s, which are just like an upgraded version of the X4s, use an RF beam, which is radio frequency. And that was the major change between the two. You thought that they would try to, make the range better and make it a little less staticky, so that they would change the signal that it's used to convert their wireless signal, but I actually have to go with the X4s on this one. The IR beam is a lot more range, around 30 feet, when I tested it, and I could go into other rooms and sometimes I could still get it, while the RF beam of the X41s was about 15 to 10 to 15 feet, which you're gonna be doing most of your playing, within 10 to 15 feet, but if you did want to get up and still talk to your buddies, that would be one downside. And you would always think that the upgraded version would be a little bit better, but it's actually half the range as the X4s. Another difference between them is the X4 has a 5.1 digital Dolby surround sound, while the X41s have 7.1. In my test, I really couldn't tell the difference. I was playing Modern Warfare 2, which does have 7.1 Dolby digital surround sound in it, and going back and forth, it was hard to hear the difference between, the 5.1 and the 7.1. What I did notice was that the 4.1s X41s had a lot better sound quality than the X4s. The X4s were a little bit better in the bass, if not almost too heavy in the bass, while the X41s were a lot better, noticeably better, excuse me, in the mids and the highs. And I know a lot of big, gamer fans out there, and a lot of just music fans in general like heavy bass, but I am really about the mids and the highs, especially when I'm playing video games, to get all of the elements in instead of just the explosions and stuff. The X4s are super heavy on the bass. I was talking about that bass boost feature a little bit ago. I would recommend never using that because it becomes overwhelming. You can't even hear anything that's going on, and that's just kind of a pain in itself. Anything else? There are two other differences between the X4s and the X41s. One main difference is that the X4s use this puck style controller. Remember that you do have to plug in a wire between the controller and the headset for chat. It's not completely wireless. And the puck controller is kind of a pain because you couldn't use it, say, let me grab this really quick here. If you had the microphone or the typing pad for the Xbox controller, the puck controller is not compatible with that. It's also not compatible with some of the Rock Band drum sets and things like that, so just kind of a pain. While the new X4 would use something more along the lines of this, a single output jack with a mute switch and stuff that is on the wire itself. So that's just one little nice upgrade that they did do with the X4 ones. And the only other difference is that material that they use to make the ear cups. The X4 has like a nice, plush, comfortable fit, while the X4 ones have a more durable, heavy, but definitely not as comfortable fit. And I don't see these ear cups deteriorating fast anyway. So durability to me is not an issue. Maybe it is to you. That's really opinion. And that being said, they're both alright headsets for wireless. They're pretty top-notch wireless gaming headsets and really interchangeable. I would probably go with the X4s, just a little bit more comfortable and not too much sound improvement on the X4 ones, but pretty much a draw. You would think that the X4 ones would be that much greater, but the disappointing range and stuff kind of some drawbacks. One last thing really quick, when you're looking and maybe you're debating between a wireless gaming headset and a plug-in gaming headset, the main thing that you want to look at, and you always have to think about when comparing wireless and non-wireless, is sound quality versus portability. Now, a wireless gaming headset is going to be very, very, very portable. You're going to be able to walk, get up and walk around with it through the whole room wherever you're going. There's going to be no cords running through the ground, things like that, which is very nice. However, there's always going to be sound quality issues, especially with the IR and the RF signals going through here. A lot of white noise, a lot of static. I haven't seen a wireless gaming headset cut out all the white noise, and kind of a pain. What you're not going to get is good sound quality. Whereas a plug-in wired headset, you're going to have perfect sound quality, far superior to the wireless ones, but you're not going to have that portability, and you're going to have those wires, running through the floor. So when you're picking out a headset, remember to think about that, and think about what you would rather have, the pros and cons of each, before you decide. If you are looking at a wired-in headset, I would recommend the Astro A40s. I have had them before. Very nice headset. I wish I would have kept them in compared to this. Way better sound quality wise. Not portable as these, but still a very nice headset. So really the decision is up to you. And thank you for tuning into this episode. Next week I'll be doing a review on the X Rocker chair, a gaming chair. And we'll see you next week, folks. Stay tuned in.